All right, shalom, shalom. First things first, I want to give honor and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. We say Barakat Yahweh, Barakat Yahushai, Barakat Yahweh, Barakat Yahushai, Barakat Yahweh, Barakat Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. And we give double honors to our apostle elders, which are the apostle elders, the great millstone, which feed us with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding through the spirit and power of Yahbashim Yahushai. We're in the time of the end, 2023, which is the hopeful year that Yahbashim Yahushai fulfills all the prophecies. We get up out of here. We jumping into this lesson. The title of his lesson is going to be called "His Crimes Will Have Him Evicted from Creation," or his, because Esau has done a lot, man. All right, Esau has done things that we don't even know of. We can only get the information that's let out through either fellow Edomites that have so-called got a change of heart, but we know that that's fulfilling prophecy where it says he's going to make his tongue to fall upon himself. All right, so these are a few of the stories that we have to take in as the atrocities that this man has done. So let's go ahead and play this video, and then we'll jump right into the lesson.
Crystal Coast of North Carolina. Good morning from the Crystal Coast of North Carolina. As we face a rise of anti-intellectualism and revisionist history, I feel like it's time to add to my stories some true stories from my childhood living in the South. I want you to know what you're up against, guys, when you're up against these racists. I grew up in a decent family, church going, the whole 9 yards. But when I was a child sitting around the table with my elders at my grandfather's house, it was quite frequent. There would be stories about racist acts. And the one I'm going to tell you today is the worst thing that I ever heard as a child, and what estranged me from my family from an early age because of the hideous nature of it. It's called the scalding pot. Once, when I was a child, I was arguing something with my grandfather about civil rights, and he just preempted the conversation, and he told a story that he found quite humorous. It was about his neighborhood in northern Forsyth County, North Carolina, near Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and how there was this black man who had done some malfeasance or crossed some sort of line, and all the people in that neighborhood, it was the Box Mountain neighborhood. If you know Winston-Salem, you know that. They were brought together, and there was a big old hog scalding pot. For those of you who aren't Southern, didn't grow up on a farm, a scalding pot is what you put the pork in, the pig, after it's been slaughtered, to scald off the skin and the hair off of the skin so that you can process the meat. It's a pretty grotesque thing. Well, apparently what they did was they took this living black person and they tied him up and they boiled him alive in this pot. And everyone in this little neighborhood, it was a big party. And this was in the early 70s, 1970s, when this story was told.
70s. That's because I was born in the 80s. Just to date myself, but that's not that long ago, man. So this is not 100 years ago. This is not 200 years ago, 300. This is not that long ago, man. So this is the time that you're seeing that the Lord is revealing these things, because guess what? All those people are accessory to murder. That's why this is not a righteous society or a place where there's justice, because there's been people that have never been paid for that and have never punished for it. But the Lord has not forgotten the tears. He's not forgotten the blood, because what did he tell Esau, or Salaki? What did he tell Cain? He said, "Thy brother's blood crieth unto me." So the Lord he requires the things that are past. So these Edomites that are not really aware of what's going on, they're gonna witness these things, not knowing. Guess what? You're paying for your past sins, because guess what? You are your foreparents coming back in that reincarnation. So that's why you see an uptake in racial tension, because these are the very same ones that were in that time of that racist, that prejudiced time frame, because it says, "Stir up your pure minds, though you once knew this." So you can have memories and things that body. That's why it says history repeats itself. Why is it repeating itself? Because those are the same ones coming back and doing the same things. So these ones you see today, these modern times, that's why you see a high uptake in racism in younger Edomites. They even have the Lost Boys and all that during the time of the protests and different things, where you have younger Edomites that are attaching themselves onto that racist prejudice mentality. Why is that? Because they've always had that. They're just coming back in the reincarnation to fulfill that. And the Lord is coming to judge those that did the atrocities in the history, man. All right, so let's finish this and we'll jump right into some precepts.
To me by my grandfather. I was under 10. His point was I shouldn't view black people as human. So when you were fighting this new wave of fascism, this racist
See,
crap
she said new wave, but that's not new wave. This is the old wave coming back.
that is coming mainly from the South, but everywhere. It's in the Pacific Northwest, it's up north, it's all over, it's in Europe. Remember that who you were fighting. You were fighting people who see you as less than human. And when you do not believe someone is human, you don't have any qualms about doing things. Know your enemy. We need to get ready for the fight of humanity's life. The soul of our entire species is on the line. I challenge every white person out there who's ever heard a story like Scalding Pot to share. Spread the
She's saying fight for humanity because guess what? Humanity comes with the Israelites because that's why the Lord said the earth was created for our sakes. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. So the humanity is going to come when Yahweh Shem Yahshua establishes the kingdom on the earth. Right now, you have a person ruling that is not supposed to rule, but he's a footnote. He's a lesson learned for the earth to learn what happens when you have a false rulership, where you have a rulership that doesn't care about nature, because Esau has been stripped of that connection with nature. That's why the curse of leprosy is such a heavy, it's uncleanliness. Even if you see leprosy that hasn't been taken care of, not a clean leopard, you got to stay away from that because it infects, it spreads. All right, so the Lord is showing us that wickedness is an infection. It spreads. Esau's he's living leprosy. He's a living cancer. He's just like cancers in a body. Cancer can be in earth. And Esau's a representation of cancer that's spread across the earth of not, that's why the Lord said he that destroyeth the earth, he going to destroy. All right, because that's what Esau's done through these years. He spread that cancer because now look at the people. You have men wanting to change their plumbing. You have different movements of the alphabet groups of LG, all these things that are fun. Now they want to push it to Africa and nations aren't having it, man. You know, Russia doesn't deal with that. They don't deal with that wickedness. They catch you out there, they're gonna put hands on you, man, pushing that doctrine. So the same thing you see now is the Lord is showing us that just like a body has cancer, you have cancer by the way of wickedness that spreads, that can kill the whole earth. That's why the Lord said, if for those elect's sake, the days shall be shortened. If it's not shortened, guess what? None of us are going to maintain, because this man wants to do what? He's doing CERN. He's doing experiments that could actually destroy the earth that we're on, because that's what? Ways of wickedness. And the Lord said it, the heart is wicked above all. Who can know it? And Esau follows that wicked heart that he's been given, man. And he's going to gusto. All right. So these are just different stories that you see that the Lord is bringing out to show that, hey, this time has to happen. This time happened. But for the sins that Esau has done, he's going to be evicted from creation, because there's going to be a time where you will not see an Edomite on the planet Earth, man. That's the promise of the Lord. So we're going to get those precepts to back that up. That's why Esau's trying to hide who he is, and because he realizes it. That's why it says in the Zondervan Compact Dictionary that the Edomites is a nation that is not promised any salvation from God, man. There's no salvation for Esau. That's a lesson right there. This is Obadiah. Let's start at 1 and 10. This is Obadiah 1 and verse 10, and it reads, it says, for thy violence. Okay, I just showed you a video of pure violence. Let's look up what the word violence means. Let's see here. Hamas, and it says violence, wrong, cruelty, injustice. And that shows you that they might them Amalekites might have set up that whole Hamas thing, man. Because it's a Hebrew word, man. If I'm pronouncing that right. It says violence, wrong, cruelty. That's what the scalding pot is. Cruelty, man.
after it's been slaughtered,
When you boil
to scald off the skin and the hair off of the skin so that you can process the meat. It's a pretty grotesque thing.
They boiled a man alive, man, till he died. But then you got guys in Israel that want to take this man's juice works They want to attain to what he says and believe. No, that right there is wickedness. That was pure wickedness what those guys did, man. That was that all these years of information and then things coming out, but they as soon as some fire came out in the world, guess what? They crumbled, man, and they joined unto the devil. That means their hearts really were never away from them, yeah, Esau to begin with. They were playing the fences, as it may seem. They were playing that, oh, we still have freedom of speech, but guess what? When it came down to it, danger, losing your jobs, and actually putting faith into Yahweh Shem Shai and actually believe, that's what the pandemic was. The Lord tried check the oil of people, man. He says, I shall believe a man by the power, not by his speech, but by the power that comes with it. So the Lord set it up to where he said, I'm not going to believe these guys talking. Let's see what they do when the fire is on, just like with Job. What did he tell Satan? He said, have you forgot about my servant Job, upright in heart? So the Lord heard about it, but guess what? Satan tried the world by way of that pandemic. And then guess what? We seen what Jake was really on. We seen those that, hey, they tried me. Hey, they tried me. They tried. I'll attest to that. You know, that's something you shouldn't be ashamed of, to know that guess what? They tried me. I wrote my letter of exemption, and I prayed for the best. And guess what? The Lord brought me through it. He delivered me the week of. If you show you, like, that's why it says the righteous shall scarcely be saved. The week of, by the time they converted it, I was getting ready to be pretty much lose my job, man. But the week of, they said no more. We don't need it. You pretty much just started to wind back. So to show you, that's deliverance right there. And that's how it says the righteous shall scarcely be saved, man. So we in that time where the Lord checked these guys, and guess what? They didn't come out good, man. Because imagine when the time of the Mark Wahlberg, that's gonna be, it's mandatory. No moving around it. So what do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna crumble. It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, then we go into Esau, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Cut off forever. So that's showing you the Lord is getting ready to do something, man. The word there is karat, all right, or kawarath, kawarath, and it says what? To cut off, cut down, cut off a body part. That's why it says Esau shall be evicted from creation. He's going to be cut out of the body of creation. Eliminate. The Lord is going to eliminate this. That's why this title is that. Esau reads these. This is an Edomite to put this breakdown together. The word went into the translation. So if they figure out who's Esau, guess what? This is the promise of it. And the Lord is not a man that he should lie. So he's living on borrowed time. He's living on a death sentence, man. See that? And he's pretty much, imagine if you were a death sentence and you can't escape. You can't go to space. You can't go into water. You just here. You just waiting until that day. There's nothing you can do. So Esau's running amok. He's running amok, man. He's suicidal. He wants death by the Most High. So let me pull that up real quick. Oh, here we go. I already got it pulled up. Call hello. You have people that do what? Suicide by cop. This is what you call suicide by the Most High. Okay. It says, let's see what it says. It says suicide by cop, also known as suicide by police or law enforcement assisted suicide, is a suicide method in which a suicidal individual deliberately behaves. Let me see. Let's pull it up here. It says what deliberately behaves in a threatening manner with intent to provoke a lethal response from a public safety or law enforcement officer to end their own life. So Esau's he's doing it, but he wants it by the hands of the Lord, man. The Lord is going to make it so. He's good because he's going to come down and he's going to save the earth. He has to save the earth. So Esau knows this, man. He is know it unknowingly, but guess what? Men's goings of the Lord. So Esau don't know what he's doing, but he's being pushed to that point of that judgment. And he can't stop it, man. See that? That's the fearness. That's why I said serve the Lord with fear and trembling, man. Because he's pushing Esau to the level where he can judge him like that. This is the verse 18. And it says, in the house of Jacob shall be a fire, in the house of Esau, and Salakia. In the house of Jacob shall be a fire, in the house of Esau, in the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken it. So the house of Esau, the Edomites, as you see as a creation, will be evicted. They will be evicted from the earth and evicted from creation. They're not going to go to some planet. They're not going to chill out. The spirit of them is going to, be in a spirit world. But when you see Edomites, period, that's not going to be anymore, man. In a point in time in history, we just have to wait for that day. 1,000 years from the establishment of the kingdom of heaven, Esau will be finally judged at the judgment written, man. Thus saith the Lord. So that's why this man is going the way he's going. He knows that it ain't gonna end up good from the blood drinking and all these things that's going on behind closed doors. The Lord got him, man. Checkmate. By us waking up, that's the Lord showing. Guess what? Your time clock has started. Esau didn't have, because when Jacob was asleep, that's why it says, "Thou, O lion, gone up from the prey." That's showing you that we've been what? Docile. We've been made to be a low state, but when we woke up, that's why Esau made it a point to hide who we were, because we're the ones that's going to invoke that judgment. So if we never wake up, how is he ever going to get that judgment by the way of prophecy? He tries to beat it. He's trying to beat prophecy by not letting us wake up and doing things to injure us and to try to take us over, because guess what? We're going to be the ones to initiate that judgment after that 1,000 years. So if we're not there, how's he going to be judged? That's what in his corrupt mind he could be thinking, man. Okay, this is Isaiah 58 and verse 18. It says, according to their deeds, accordingly he will repay. Fury to his adversaries, recompense to his enemies, and the isles will repay recompense. And the isles he will repay recompense. So the Lord is going to judge for what happened to us. The scalding pot, slavery in general, all these things are going to come. It says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. And that spiritual power, which is coming from within us. David had power that came from within him. And then he also had the assistance of the angels, which the Lord will send. And we have Michael, the angel that stands up for the nation of Israel. So we're going to have Michael doing his thing out here also, too, to protect us, man. This is Job 34 and verse 11. And it reads, give me 1 second. Job 34 and verse 11, for the work of a man shall be rendered unto him, and to cause every man to find according to his ways. So the things that Esau's done, he's going to fall into a trap which he made. He wants to exterminate us, and he's going to be exterminated himself. Yea, surely Yahweh will not do wickedly, neither will the Almighty pervert judgment. See, who hath given him a charge over the earth, and who hath disposed the whole world. For it says, if he set his heart upon man, if he gather unto himself his spirit and his breath, all flesh shall perish together, and men shall turn again unto dust. So the Lord has given us the strength, the spirit. That's why it says the spirit which he gave, man. Okay? So the Lord is getting ready to do things in this earth, man. All right? This is the last precept we're going to close on out. This is Isaiah 1 and verse 24. And it reads, it says, because what we're doing, we're setting the tone for the Lord. Just like John, he said, we come to make the way straight. That's our jobs in this time. We're just coming to make the way straight, to let you know who's coming after us, which is Yahweh Shai himself, which was what they ignorantly called, the world ignorantly calls Jesus, is coming back. But this time he's coming back as a conqueror, not that lamb that was coming to be slaughtered for the nation of Israel, but as a lion to redeem the nation of Israel and to render recompense on the earth, man. This is Isaiah 1 and 24. Therefore saith the Lord, it says, therefore saith the Lord of hosts, the mighty one of Israel. I will ease, it says, I will ease me in mine adversaries and avenge me of mine enemies. I will turn my hand upon thee and purely purge away thy dross and take away all thy tin. So that's what the Lord is doing now by way of this truth. It's a cleansing agent, just like the Lord told the prophet by the coal touching your mouth. It says you're pure. This truth is that coal. This is that cleansing agent that is being cleansing us from this world, man. And I will restore thy judges as at the first, and thy counselors as at the beginning. Afterwards thou shalt be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city. Zion shall be redeemed, not the world, with judgment, and her converts with righteousness. And we are those converts coming in, because we're likened unto those Israelite foreigners, because we waking up to the truth, man. All right, so I'm gonna leave it there. Lord willing, to edifying lesson. I just wanted to bring that out. But the title of this video is what? It says his crimes will have him evicted from creation. So with that, I say, call Haloyim Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem HaKwadash. Say, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Bahashem HaKwadash. Until the next time, and more now than ever, keep faith. Shalom.